how to start investing while you are in your 20s. Well, hello there, and welcome to today's video. Today's video will be a chill one, and that's why we have this setup. Um, so, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Gertrude, depending on your nursery school teacher. Uh, and on this channel, we talk about all things investing, budgeting, etc. If this is the first time you're landing on this page, hit that like and subscribe button because I know you'll want to stay around. If this is not the first time you are watching one of my videos, welcome back, and I hope that you have subscribed as well. Well, as I've said, in today's video, we'll be looking at how you can get started with investing while you are in your 20s. Yes, I am in my 20s. Yes, and I started investing way before. I have 7 years of investing experience, and I'll be sharing the tips and what you can do to get started with your investment journey in your 20s. Yeah, it will be a chill one, and that's why we have this setup, because I'll be sharing my progress. Yes, this is what I use to track my investment progress throughout the years, and I'll be sharing which assets I have invested in. So, and no, today I don't have a script. I'll just be sharing my journey and the lessons that I have picked up. Well, I'm still in my 20s. So, yes. So, the first thing is that I'll be sharing using my own personal journey. And I'll also be sharing what I've invested in, what I have left out, and what I am still looking forward to investing as I continue with my investment journey. So, first things first, let me define what investing is. And investing is simply making your money work for you, that is, making your money earn money for you, which is so different from saving. Saving is simply setting a certain amount aside for future use. For example, what happened with uh, when you are saving up for an item, you could be saving up to upgrade your home, or you could be saving up so that you can buy your another phone or replace the one that you have, which is different from investing. So, while we have uh, made this video on 6 investment options that you have, apologies for the noise. Yeah, apologies. So, watch this video to look at your options when it comes to investing. Just a minute. And we're back. So the first tip I'd like to share is that while we are in our 20s, most of all early 20s, we might not have that much income. Therefore, the first thing I would suggest is investing your time in accumulating knowledge, which you are obviously doing by watching this video. I remember the first time I came across investing in shares like Safaricom. Um, it took me 2 years to make my first to buy my first set of shares, and that's the thing with when you don't have that much income, the best place for you to start is by starting with accumulating knowledge. The first time I learned about shares, I wrote this article right here. I'll leave it in the description box below, whereby I shared what I learned about shares. That was way back in 2020. Yeah, it was among my first articles on my blog, financial blog. You should read it if you have not. So the first tip is for you to start with accumulating knowledge. That is, invest in knowledge. That means utilize free resources such as videos like this, articles. There's so much information online. You can get started with that as you are preparing to for that time that you'll have enough income to start investing. Yes, I bet you've had that. If not, tip number one: invest your time in accumulating knowledge. Step number two is to invest your time in gaining skills that will enable you to increase your income. Yes. Um, back to investing your time. I remember the same time that I was writing those articles and learning about investing, I was also taking online courses, which eventually led me to getting a good paying job years later. So this can go hand in hand. You can invest in acquiring knowledge about investing, as well as investing your time in gaining skills, because as young people we have so much energy and we need to utilize it. So in preparation for that time when you'll have so much disposable income, you can start preparing by acquiring knowledge and skills as well. So the first two tips for me from me. Yes. Now that you have enough, you know the basics, you know what to do, what not to do. Now you can start testing the waters, because at the end of the day, you might not know which investment vehicle is right for you. So you can get started with knowing, I know what shares are, they are high risk. I know what bonds are, they are low risk. You can get started with low entry investments. For example, right now in the Kenyan stock market, you can buy just one share of any company listed on the Kenyan stock market, that is the NSE. So let's say you know a lot about Safaricom, you know how it makes money, you know what future growth prospects it has. So you might choose to buy one share or two or 10 of Safaricom with the income that you have. Remember that this is testing so that you can find out whether this investment vehicle is right for me. I remember the first share that I bought was Safaricom, but this is not financial advice. I'm simply sharing my journey. It was Safaricom and a real estate investment trust, that is the Fahari I Right. And I don't know whether this is beginner's luck, but I held the Fahari I Right for 2 years before we were bought out. That is, I bought it at around 5 or 6 shillings. I think 5 shillings. Yes, let me check. Yeah, it was. Let me see. Oh yes, it was 6 shillings. Yeah, it was 6 bob, and it was bought out at 11 shillings. That is, I made a gain over. Let me see. It was around 80% by just owning it. So yeah, that was the first two items that I bought on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. That is Safaricom and the Fahari I Right. And you might think, wow, you bought at 6 shillings and sold at 11. Isn't that a good thing? It was. But on the other side, when I bought Safaricom, I remember it was 23 shillings. I bought it on a Monday, and by Friday, that same company had gone down to was it 11? No, 13. 13 shillings. I remember I lost over 10K in 1 week. And the thing is, with you, As a new investor, you might think that, wow, I've lost money, let me just exit. But what I chose to do was I held, and an year later, was it, yeah, 2 years later, the company share price came back. Right now, as we're speaking, Safaricom is trading at 28 shillings per share. And that's why I'm telling you, the first thing that you have to do is to invest your time in acquiring the knowledge, because if you do not, you might make beginner mistakes such as panicking. And my strategy was, I am a long term investor. After I look at the fundamentals, I look at the company. Do I believe that the company will be here for the next 10 years? Then I'll invest. If not, I don't even look at it, right? So, know, are you a long term investor? Are you a short term investor? If you don't know, then you might as well stay out of the market. And that's why in this initial step, you test which investment vehicle works for you, because there's someone out there who will see the share price going down and they'll panic. And instead of wasting so much money, putting all your money in one item, you can start with a small amount so that you can test whether you are fit for that investment vehicle. All right. Okay. And the best thing is that when Safaricom went down from 23 shillings to 13 shillings, at 13, I continued to buy even more shares. Right now, I have recouped that loss, as well as I have made a substantial amount from it. And that is it. When you are at the beginning of your investment journey, do not put so much money into one item. Put some money, test, is this right for me? If it is, then go all in. If it's not, try something else. But yeah, so that was my first two companies to buy on the Kenyan stock market. The first one was Safaricom, and a rate that is the Fahari I rate, which was delisted. I hope they'll come back. Yeah. Apart from that, my first investment before the shares. Remember, it took 2 years of me studying how shares work for me to buy my first set of shares. So before that, in second year, I remember the first item that I bought, the first investment that I made was a bond. And I know you might be asking, a whole bond? No, at that time, back in second year, the government had released a bond which had a low entry, which was around 3,000. So, as a campus student, I had saved up some money and I put my money into that. And I remember the first time I tasted coupons or rates, not rates, interest. It was the best feeling ever. I remember I buy coffee or what? Yes, that was a beginner mistake that I made from the interest made. I ate that interest, which is another beginner mistake. Why? Because as an investor, you are supposed to reinvest the interest made so that you can take advantage of compounding. And compounding is simply interest on top of interest. And that is how you get to become a millionaire, because of you letting your money work for you. So, yeah, back in campus, my first bond, which was my first investment, and I loved that feeling. Um, Tip for you: do not eat your interest. Right now, as I have 7 years of experience. What I do is that from my bonds, the bonds that I have invested in, the interest that I get, I reinvest it into the stock market. That is, I buy even more shares of the companies that I am currently investing in. So back then I ate it. Right now I am reinvesting it so that I can reach my goal. Yeah, so that is bonds, shares. What else? Let us look at this. I also use money market funds to achieve my savings goals. For example, most of the savings goals that I have, I personally use a money market fund account. You can look at this video right here, which will give you more information about what money market fund accounts are and how you can use them to achieve your savings goals. In addition to achieving my savings goals, I also use money market fund accounts to save up for huge investments such as bonds. Yes, each month I set aside a certain amount of money so that it can go into my money market fund account. And once I achieve a minimum, the minimum investment right now for bonds in Kenya is 50,000. Once I achieve that, I usually buy a bond. So you can use a money market fund account to save up for large investments. Consider that. So apart from that, this was my assets versus liabilities column, whereby I listed the investments that I have, that is bonds, shares, offshore investments as well. Yes, I invest in the US stock market as well, in addition to the Kenyan shares that I own. So, track your progress and also know your net worth, that is assets minus liabilities, as simple as that. That is tip number 6. So we are running out of time, but so here are my tips. As we've said, invest your time in acquiring the knowledge. Be- yeah, in acquiring the knowledge. Number 2, in acquiring skills that will help you increase your income. Then you can start small, test out the different investment options and pick the right ones for you. Do not test with a lot of money and do not be greedy. I know there are these posts that we make. If you had invested 100K at the beginning of the year, right now you'll be, yes, there's that aspect of you gaining, but on the other side, you also stand the chance to lose that amount. So start small and pick what is right for you as you continue to learn about the investment options. Another tip is to take the lessons that you get along the way and apply them in your future options that you make in your future decisions, because at the end of the day, we learn more from the mistakes that we make. But as a wise person, learn from other people's mistakes. Do not wait to make your own. All right? Okay. Apart from that, start with what you have. Do not wait for the time you'll be earning 6 figures. Start with what you have right now. As I've stated, you can use a money market fund account to save up for large investment options. Why? Because for some money market fund accounts, you can start saving with as low as 100 shillings. So do not wait for the time that you'll be earning so much. Start with what you have, right? Okay. Another thing is to Surround yourself with with the right environment. I know that at the moment it can feel as if you are alone. I know this because I have been there. I have experienced it, whereby you might be learning about these investment options, but when you look around, there's no one else you can um, and who can get what you want to achieve, and that's fine. And that's why we are living in the online stages, whereby you can join a community of investors, because at the end of the day we all need community so that we can give each other motivation to continue. So feel free to join investment communities whereby people share freely what they're learning, and you'll be able to get there faster. So surround yourself with the right investment community. That can be your WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. For example, I have this community right here whereby I usually share investment updates, and our members discuss about investments, and this will keep you sharp, and also you'll be in a position to ask and get feedback so that you can continue with your investment journey. Apart from that, right now, I know you might be asking yourself, so I have shared that I invest in shares, local shares, foreign shares, as well as rates and bonds. What do I not invest in? So at the moment, I do not invest in investment options that do not serve the purpose or what I want to achieve. For example, and I might get a bit of backlash for this, uh I do not invest in circles. Why? Because at the moment, the purpose of a circle will not serve me as a person. Uh, why? Because I believe the only time that you'll need to be a member of a circle is when you want affordable loans. And at the moment, I am not in a position to be taking loans. So I am not a member of a circle at the moment. Apart from that, I am not investing in other high entry point investments. I may talk about them, and yes, maybe sometime in the future I will invest in them. But at the moment, if it does not serve me, it does not serve my purpose, then I'm not doing it. So the point is, invest in what is serving you, invest in what you understand at the moment. All right. Okay. Um, what else? What else? Let me see. Yeah, I believe that's it. Let me know in the comment section below whether this type of video was nice, whether we should do them more often, and leave your questions about how you can get started with investing in your 20s in the comment section below. I'll also attach a number of videos for you to watch about the various types of investment options that are available for Kenyans. You can check them out in the description box below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.